We're with Coach Ambrose at CAA Media Day. Coach, congrats on a great last season. That was special for you and the team to go through that. I know your moniker and your battle cry last year was "Leave No Doubt." What was it for you guys for this season coming up?
To be honest, as the years have progressed, the mantra, chant, marketing slogan, so to speak, has been something that has been created out of necessity, created for the kids. Just to happen. Sure, we don't have one this year. For this team, half of this team is so young that they need to grow up before we can make something out of it. This camp, we'll have one by the other camp, I'm sure. This camp is extremely important for a large portion of the team.
How did playing on a national stage? You guys played on multiple TV games down the stretch, and then obviously the national championship game. How'd that help with recruiting? And do you think with that leverage you were able to get anybody in this year that could be an impact player for you right off the bat?
I think that our success over the last couple of years, it's been growing. It's something that's it started moving. It's kind of like a boulder rolling downhill, picking up speed. Culminated in a lot of great things from the season. And our recruiting has been a reflection of that year by year by year. I mean, before I have to travel far and wide to find somebody who didn't know about the negative preconceived notions of Towson used to be at this level. Inconsistencies. We're not your dad's Towson.
Right.
Now, kids close to home, everybody knows the national championship. So recruiting has steadily improved. As far as the impact player guys, everybody's got potential.
Right.
That's what they do when they get here that's going to make the difference. I feel comfortable in who we've recruited and where we're going. But proof is in the pudding. These guys got to put some pads on.
Right, gotcha. You lost a lot of offensive linemen last year. I mean, basically the whole front and start five.
It's not the linemen; it's almost the whole offense.
Right. You know, were you able to in the spring? Were you able to address a lot of that, fill a lot of roles? Where there got some guys that were able to develop? Obviously, they've got to get the experience when they develop. But were there some guys that you felt that stepped up in the off season to take a hold of those opportunities?
Yeah, more so in the leadership. With so many guys, when 5 linemen leave, starting tight end, tailback, quarterback, all league wideout, you're replacing a lot of bodies, but you're also replacing leaders.
Right.
And tested leaders. So the spring was big for the guys who were stepping into those roles in leadership. I don't really have any doubt about it. Good football players who are going to rise up. Recruited good kids who are going to be really good football players. We're finding the leaders to give us the direction and consistent vision. That was the biggest thing in the spring. I was really proud of seeing those guys.
When I look at your team, I mean, like you said, lost a lot on offense, but on defense, you bring back a lot. Talk about, Dallaire, Smith, Carpenter, these guys, what they're going to mean for your team this coming year.
This might be the most consistent and strong secondary we've had since I've been here. You're talking about multiple conference and national players. Good in the balls in the air and tackle the balls on the ground. So each one of them, while I'm saying all these positive things, they're focusing on the weaknesses all summer long.
Right.
They're closing the gap and the holes in their game.
Right.
But, and having a guy like Russell Passion on the player, I mean, he's a rare bird at any level.
I think he's one of the most underrated D linemen in the country.
He is because no one knew who he was before the season.
Right.
Now he's a guy that everybody, you guys may not be talking about it in the media, but I can tell you that every head coach in this room today knows exactly where Ryan Dallaire will line up on Saturday,
right.
And they will be planning for him. He's earned that respect.
Right. Obviously every game is big in the CAA. When you look at your schedule and talk to other coaches, what other team out there in the CAA, from what they're bringing back, looks to give people the most trouble this year?
Well, I guess at any level of football, quarterback position pretty much make or breaks.
Right.
You look at kid from Maine last year, I mispronounced his name.
Yeah.
He's a tremendous leader. As a Maine was as successful as they were. Quarterback at Villanova is just he's a difference maker. There's a reason he was a freshman of the year. There's a reason he's getting votes for national player of the year. He's that kind of guy. When you have somebody that dynamic, the sky's the limit. They will rise and fall to the level as play. They're a great team. Villanova's a team.
Even with the playoffs expanding last year to 24 teams, it seemed like almost the bar got raised for the CAA, even though a lot of people thought with 24 teams you might get 5 CAA teams in there. Do you think that the selection committee needs to readjust basically how they pick those teams? Because a 7-win team in the CAA, we saw last year with New Hampshire, they can go all the way to the national championship game.
Yeah, it's too bad that that 7-year team from the CAA, 7-win team from the CAA in 2012 didn't make it, because I had a good idea they were going to the national championship game too. And, the selection committee does as good a job as I think they can do. I think there's a lot that goes into it. Most of us laymen don't understand all the details of it. But when one of your team goes to the national championship and the other makes it to the semis, I'd say that the respect of the conference is mandatory.
Right.
While North Dakota State is a powerhouse in its own right, the depth of that league and how far every member of that league goes in the playoffs.
Right.
I think that or doesn't, I think is a telltale sign. The fact that we've had so many different teams play for the national title from the conference in the last 10 years, it screams great things about the individual teams. If that doesn't impress you, to strengthen this conference.
Last question for you. Going into this year, coach from a perspective of coaching, is this a real, overall, just a big exciting year for you personally? Because you're coming off a national championship, but you have a young team, but you have some proven leaders. I mean, talk about the expectations going in this year for you opposed to last year.
From a coach's perspective, if at this time of year you start thinking about your team, the hair on the back of your neck doesn't stand up a little bit, you're in the wrong business.
Right.
I was just sitting there remarking my brother the other day how exciting it is to be involved in these kids. Watch who they were when we recruited them and how they progressed on the road. That's true from a coach's perspective. That's the joke. Now it's a time where these guys are going to get to apply what they've worked so hard for since the time we got off the bus for the national championship. Put the helmet back on and go play ball.
Right.
So, as far as expectations go, I expect us to get better. I expect these guys to work to be the best versions of them they can possibly be in every aspect of their life. And if they do that consistently, I think we've proven the things that on the field.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.